Okay, so now you'll see I completed with my little French knots. I think it looks more like a rose vine when you put the French knots on the inside and more like a different type of flower when you put the French knots on the outside. So for demonstration purposes, this little leaf vine, I decided I'm going to turn him into a flower vine. And you can also do that. You can mix it up. You can decide to put leaves on one of them, you know, flowers. I could even like put the French knots on the inside branches and the leaves on the outside. But I'm going to decide to put French knots here. Now, this one is a 3-strand. I split my floss. This is only 3 strands. So it should be a lot easier to pull through. 1, 2, but remember, if you're doing 3 strands, you want to wrap your needle 3 times. It's to help your little knot be bigger. And so I'm going to put my French knot here. Alternatively, wait, here, I'll show you another thing. Well, we'll get to that. So look at this. See, he looks pretty good, despite the fact that this is with 3 strands. This is with 6. 6 was a pain to get in and out of the fabric. 3 is way easier. But remember, I wrapped my needle 3 times instead of twice. Sorry, I got down on the Duplo noise back there. Okay, so, and then, to get even a different look, especially if you want this to look like, not like little flowers, but more like clusters of flowers, or even like, if you want to do like a delphinium sort of flower, you can stack your little French knots, like a goldenrod or something, and you can make so many different looking flowers just using the Lazy Daisy detached petal and then French knots, and you just arrange them in different ways. I think I'm going to do a cluster of 3. I like the look of that. 1, 2, 3. Remember, because I have 3 strands, so remember I poke. Now remember where the French knots often go wrong is you want those loops that you've got, you want them to sort of rest on the fabric. You don't want to pull them so tight that you can't get your needle through, but you want them to be nice and crisp. I mean, nice and, you know, hold them steady at the bottom there as you're pulling your needle through it, so they don't just go crazy everywhere. See, so I like that little cluster of 3. I think it looks like a different kind of flower. And you know, I might even just put like some flower clusters and then go back to leaves. You know, mix it up. Make it the way you want. What I drew there is more of a suggestion. The only thing I really want you following is the feather stitch. You can mix up where you decide to put leaves, where you decide to put flowers, because I actually really like having leaf and a flower. I think it looks more realistic, like a real plant, less stylized, more natural. Remember, I point away. 1, 2, 3. Just ouch. Okay. Put a band-aid on. I did. Good. All right, stick that on my bed, or no, put it in my room so no one else steps on it. Okay, so we've got our little clusters, and we can keep on going like that. So here, I was not careful, and I let my loops get too big, and I got a little floppy French knot. If you get a floppy French knot, here's the easy fix. You just like position it where you want it, and come back up. And so you're treating it like a detached chain. So a little anchor stitch to hold that floppy French knot down. Boom! See, nobody knows it wasn't on purpose. So now I put all the yellow flowers that I wanted on this vine, and now I'm putting in the leaves. But I decided one little leaf by itself looks a little sad, so I'm going to put in a couple leaves. Now, granted, when you do floral embroidery, you want to pick between whether you're going for more of a naturalistic look, like more like it's an actual flower, or if you're going for more of the stylized floral look. It's okay, baby. It looks good. Just, there are plants that look like that. Anyway, so you can, you know, decide. So here with this guy, I'm going for more of a naturalistic look and less of a stylized look. Sometimes stylized looks better, so stylized might actually look better on clothing. I don't know. I've seen it both ways. It's more what your style is. Okay, so, and depending on the clothing too. Like if it was a sundress, I feel like I'd go for more stylized. If it was sort of more like winter clothes, other way around. If it was a sundress, I think I would go for more like naturalistic looking. Like I would make it not quite the same, you know. I mean, the vine you want to be the same. I mean, usually people like that, the symmetry. But I would alter up like the leaves a little or the flowers more. And if I was doing it on more like winter clothes, I think I would try to make it look more stylized. But I don't know why. That's just my gut feeling. But it's whatever you like. Okay, see, I got the dreaded catch on the screw thing. There we go. So sometimes, see, if I pulled it, do you see how I pulled that chain stitch way too tight? There's a fix for it. If you just did that and you're like, wait, I made that way too tight, unless you're going for that, unless you want spiky leaves, you can sort of loosen it up. chain stitch in here. So remember, you always finish the feather stitch first, the main vine, and then you go in and put all your leaves and your flowers. There we go. And okay, just looking at the back here, you can see how the feather stitch is actually quite organized. You just see the little chunk, 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 chunk. And then you see this is the in between all my French knots. That's the back, you see connecting. And you see all this crazy stuff going on. Whoa, what's this? What is this thing? Okay, that's not supposed to be there. Give me snippers. I don't know what's going on there. Got it. But you see all this crazy stuff going on where I was putting on the leaves. And then this is in between all the flowers. And then this is what I have on this side. And I think maybe I'll go back in and put a couple more leaves. But anyway, so this is 2 different styles. So I think that putting the flower on the tip, I mean, you can experiment with putting pink on the tip and see what that looks like. That might also be, but you see you get a very different look. I wanted to show you one last one. I can't remember if this is traced on all of you guys' things, but you can easily trace it yourself. So this is, if you look, it's a double feather, and I'm just going to do the double feather. So I'm going to sew that up real quick. And then I'm going to show you the one last thing you can do. So is the, no, don't cut my thread. Wah!
I wasn't gonna.
Oh, thanks. Sorry. I didn't know what you were doing. No, 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 no. Don't put your scissors there. So now we're going to, sorry. I'm going to put the V. So remember, this is a double feather. Wait, I think I just made a triple feather. What was I doing? No, no, no. I don't know how I sketched the beginning. No, 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 that's a 1, 2. Oh, is this a, no, no, this is a double feather. Make sure to catch the loop. Okay. So remember, we're going always poking at the tip and come up. I'm always poking at the tip and come up at the vine. And I always catch the loop. So remember, you lick your thread, just, and then you kind of pinch it. And then you just sort of peel up your fingers just enough. Oh, sorry. So it's just enough to get them through. Okay. Now this, I want to show you, this is a double feather, and I'm going to put flowers on the outermost. Maybe I think I'll do the middle one, the medium, the inner branches, the inner twigs that are sticking out. So I'm going to show you all the things you can do with that, what we call the lazy daisy or the detached chain. So I'm going to put 4 leaves pointing, or leaves, petals pointing out. Now I can't remember if I drew this on some of you girls' samplers or not, but you can easily draw. So remember, it's a detached chain. So you can just draw 4 spokes. Here, maybe I'll do that for the next one so you can see it better. And then, so I come up at the base again. And you're kind of getting, you're like looking at a flower sideways, sort of. Although it is somewhat stylized, because, I mean, all of this is. Those little twig branches aren't exactly what they look like in nature. We're almost done, pumpkin. It's in the video. It's okay. And then, do my 4th one. You can even do it with 3. You can do it either way you like. And remember, your petals look more pointy the longer you make that anchor stitch. So that's the main stitch, and then the anchor stitch. This is the anchor stitch. So if I put my anchor stitch far away, it looks more pointy like this one. If I want it more round like these ones, Then I'll put it in closer. There we are. Okay, so now I've got my little flower, and I would go down and I would do that on all my second row. Okay, so you see how I drew those 4 little lines that show me where to put my stitches? This can help instead of just freehanding it. So you see, it's showing me where to come in, where to come up. I hope that shows up on the camera. You can see those from here. So it's like 4 little spokes. And see, it shows me where to come, where I'm coming up. Baby, don't climb on Mama's lap. Not right now, babe. I'll read you in a little bit. And then where to go down, where to come up. So now I'm on the second spoke. Whoop, I'm running out of thread here. Anchor that. And now we come on the 3rd spoke. Now I'm on the 3rd spoke that I drew. And now let's get on the 4th spoke. Now I like to leave a little space in between at the base because you'll see in a minute what we're going to do there, which is French knots. And it really pops. It looks pretty cool, I think. I think I saw someone with the tutorial on this. So now I've got those 4, and then I just keep on going down, but I'm going to pause it and I'm going to put in the French knot. Okay, so now I've got my yellow thread, and I'm going to come up right there, and because this is 3 strands, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to remember I want to gently, I lost my thing, 1, 2, 3, and I want to go in there, and then you want to sort of push and tug that little knot right to the base of the needle, but not so tight you can't get through. Bloop! And I think that looks so cute. And then one last step that I think really levels it up even more, although this looks good by itself, maybe it looks like a different kind of flower, so you might not do this to everyone, is that hollow, just putting a little straight stitch inside of all of the hollow of each chain stitch there. And I think it really, you do a lot with this. If you like Breath of the Wild, you could even do like a silent princess. You know, I think the inside is it's a white flower, like blue, and then yellow at the center. So if this was a silent princess, the pink part I'd make white, I'd make these inner stitches blue, and then the knot would be gold. But you can look at different pictures of flowers, you can look at embroidered ones, you can look at ones in nature, and you can decide how you want. Can you take the thread cutters away from her? Baby, you're not old enough. You're only 3, okay? Those are really sharp. Okay, see? And I think that looks pretty cool. It's also, although, maybe I'll try it just with a knot here. It does look like a different type of flower, I think, than when you just put the... It's okay. I'm almost done. So you can see it's a slightly different look when you put the yellow on the inside when you don't put the yellow. But as you can imagine, I'd go through and I'd just keep, putting them together. Anyway, so that's how you do that. See you in class.